Well, Coach, first of all, can you just talk about the frustration level? I know every team hits a skid. I'm sure having your skid during these last couple of games has to be extremely displeasing, however.
Well, I mean, we're disappointed that we've lost the last two games. We knew going into the game that our first 6 games of the season were going to be very difficult from the first game on. We knew that all those games could have gone either way. I think the frustration level is such because we didn't play up to what we think our potential is and didn't win one of those two, and we got the same problem this week. We're going to have a tough game this week, and it's going to be hard to win. But there's some positives because we've been down and out or it looked like the game was over, and we've come back and made a game of it. And if we don't make a couple of mistakes, we could have pulled them out.
Coach, what do you attribute the mistakes to? I mean, is it just football? I mean, that's just part of the deal. But when you play TCU, I mean, again, we talk frustration level, and you drop a field goal snap and you fumble on the goal line. I mean, that could have been a 17-10, 17-17 halftime game. That has to add, I would think, to the frustration level of your club, or at least to the coaching staff.
Well, I think whenever you make mistakes, you evaluate what you're doing in practice, and if there's anything that you're not emphasizing enough in practice or doing in practice that allows you not to fumble going in or allows you not to drop a snap from center on a field goal, you obviously adjust your practice and try to improve it. Now, part of that is football. I mean, our guy that holds for field goals hasn't dropped one in practice for 3 years that I've been here, and it's never dropped one in the game, and all of a sudden he drops one. So that's not a habit, and that doesn't happen very often, and we're probably practicing the right way. All running backs fumble, even though you coach ball security daily. All running backs fumble. It just those kind of mistakes have cost us in the last 2 games.
Coach, I guess as watching as a fan at least, I was at the Washington State game, and it seemed like your team crescendoed in the fourth quarter, and you had seen the steady improvement for those 3 games, and it just kind of disappeared in those last couple of weeks. Nothing happened between the third game and the fourth game in your mind, did it?
Yeah, we played 2 better football teams.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, all fans want to just look at one side of the story, but if you look at both sides of the story, the 2 teams we played the last 2 weeks are much better than the first 3 games we played.
Rocky Long is with us. Coach, let's talk about the positives. As you mentioned, down 20-0 to TCU, and I think in a situation like that, San Diego State teams of the past would have folded up the tent and probably gone away. You guys battled back to 20-14, had the ball back in their territory with a chance to win in the fourth quarter. That is something I would imagine you can build on.
Well, I tell you, it just tells you that we got great character on the football team, that we've got some toughness about us physically and mentally, and we got some not give up attitude about us, and that those are all positive signs. And I honestly thought we had the momentum in our favor. The crowd was great. They were going crazy. The energy was there. And then we throw an interception that kind of changes the momentum late in the game, and that's probably more frustrating than anything. Not that we're making mistakes, that we get in a position to get back into a game and we don't capitalize or we don't finish.
Speaking of interceptions, Coach, your cornerbacks each came up with a big one, Larry Parker and Leon McFadden. Talk about the play that they've given you so far this season and the status of Leon McFadden heading into Thursday's game at Air Force.
Well, both our corners have played really well. We put them on an island a lot. The trouble we had in the last game was our safeties got beat in coverage 3 times, but both corners played well, and both corners had interceptions this last game that probably kept TCU from scoring points. I thought they're playing well. We are very positive that Leon's going to be able to play this week, and we'll find that out for sure this evening sometime, but we think he's going to play.
Speaking of the islands, I imagine that your corners are going to definitely be on the islands when you're facing Air Force, because you're going to need to contribute most of your help with the safeties to stopping their run game. This is going back to a little bit of Navy, a little bit of Cal Poly, a little bit of Army. Does Air Force do anything differently than any of those 3 teams, or are they a little bit of a mixture of all 3?
They're more multiple. They do a lot of other things besides run the option, where the teams that we played up to this point are mostly option teams. They do a lot of one-back sets. They do a lot of shotgun. They do a lot of zone reads. They do a lot of drop-back passing game. So they're much more multiple. But the thing they do the best is run the triple option, and we're hoping that the Cal Poly and the Army game, that we in a short week we can click it on and react to the plays better, because we've played a couple triple option teams already.
I know nothing compares to Denard Robinson, but Jefferson, the quarterback of Air Force, is pretty quick and he's tough to contain. Do you go into this Air Force game with a similar game plan against Jefferson as you did against Robinson, or do you change some things up?
Well, the two offenses aren't the same, and both of them are good ball carriers, but in the triple option, you can't do it the same way as you do with the guy that's in the shotgun and zone reading it. Now, there is a little bit of it because Air Force will get into the shotgun and we'll do some zone read, but we'll run a different defense this week than we did against Michigan.
Coach, talk about preparing with the short week, the changes that you have to make. I know you already had your kids up early this morning for a practice at 6 a.m. How did they react to that, and how are you going to get them ready to play a game on Thursday night?
Well, I thought they reacted real well this morning. I thought once they woke up that the energy was there and they practiced well this morning. In a short week, we're shortening practices. We're giving them a lot of looks without a lot of collisions, without a lot of physical activity. Now, hopefully our two previous games that we played against this kind of offense will kick in on Thursday night and we'll play well.
You called it a slump that Ryan Lindley is in right now, a little bit of a slump perhaps that Ronnie Hillman is in right now. Where do you stand confidence-wise behind both of these great players, Coach?
I am totally confident in both of them. They're both really good players. All good players have problems from now and then, but they seem to break out, and we're hoping they break out on Thursday night.
Coach Rocky Long with us here on Extra Sports 1360. Let you go in just a second, Coach. After this game, you get a long break. Is that something that you can use as, point ahead? We want to make sure we have a positive attitude after this game because we don't want to be sitting on 3 straight losses going into that long off time?
Well, I don't think that's our motivation for this game. Our motivation is we want to win every game we play in. The time off between this game and our next game is probably a little bit too long to be good, but it'll be okay to have some time because whether we're 4-2 or 3-3, it's a split right in the middle of the season, and it gives us a chance to regroup. Either way, 4-2 or 3-3 gives us a chance to regroup and get ready for the second half of the season.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck on Thursday night in Air Force. We'll be there at Colorado Springs, hoping you can snap the little 2-game losing streak. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys.